Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Now, it appears that we did dump a bit, guys, are a little bit. It's because they got a new metric, the Fear and Greed Index on Coin Market Cap, but it's because of the CME, guys. I don't think he got approved, right? The BlackRock ETF instead, but that's just news. She claims to be Haley's, but we can't believe it. What else, though, do you know, is taking place? There are a lot of things cooking in the background right now. The XRP community sees that they are fairly fascinating, and they are on par with XRP. It would appear that Baba manages to lure us back. Has he reactivated his account? It's been my pleasure to have him as a member of the United States Marine Corps and Mbaba Cox. I mean, you guys have to know that something big is about to happen. On a Friday, it will begin. See, this man has a 630, it's Friday, so it's possible that today is the day. The weekend will soon hear. 320-22. The sum of 3 2s is 6. Also, 6320 is available to you immediately, gentlemen. In any case, the first indications appear in 1109. Devastation is the first step. Now, this right here is the reason we know Mr. Poole is authentic. Whatsoever ties Mr. Poole may have to the highest court in the land. South Supreme Court rules against using race as a factor in college admissions and affirmative action. Then, in a close vote of 6-3, the court ruled that the Secretary of Education cannot waive more than $14.30 billion in student loan debt due to a lack of authority under federal law. Right. Where does it all lead, fellas? The numbers are 6 and 3. What a peculiar and bizarre thing. Considering Mr. Poole's continued emphasis on 3, 6, and 1. Right. The Supreme Court of the United States will review the SEC's employment of in-house judges. Right? To repeat, dudes. The time of people's exposure is drawing closer, so they should get ready. The reason why everything is about to fall apart is about to be revealed. In today's video, we'll try to put the pieces together and explain why the national debt is approaching the $33 trillion milestone and why it feels like the world is ending as we speak. Right? If you give it any thought at all, this is completely absurd, because Mr. Pointer 33. The U.S. economy, which on June 16, 2023, passed $32 trillion. It is now June 29. And it has increased by roughly $204 billion already. In the event that it appears that it will be less than 2 months before it reaches their magic number of 33. Right. The U.S. national debt will reach the magical 33-digit mark within the next few months. This is when things become interesting. All significant ceremonies are performed on the 13th or 33rd day of the month. If the U.S. national debt is currently estimated at $33 trillion, does this suggest that the entire financial system and economy would collapse when this hits? Bundesbank is close to bankruptcy with a deficit of 650 billion euros, another bank to fail, in due time. This may be the beginning, it may have already begun. Breaking news, the DOJ just now reported this. All they have to do is ask Joe Wright for a few pennies. We warned you, since they print money like there's no tomorrow. The next day, please. Friday, I take it? So, keep in mind the time the banks went down. Guys, what do you need XRP for? It all kicks off in LDN Europe and spreads outward from there. Archie just uploaded this picture here. To what does this relate? Is that buck frozen in a laboratory? The animal was correctly frozen, however the check to sell a link to the frozen buck was incorrect. Which means ICE 9 when banks collapse ICE 9, and as well as it seems, guys, it seems like the banks are literally in collapse mode as we see it, because protesters in France set fire to an office of Justin Credit Mutual Bank. This is completely insane. Brad Garlinghouse said to check the sell people when we see that they are going after the who, what, and the banks. Remember what Brad Garlinghouse, CEO at Ripple, said a long time ago about the people of space rising up straight against the CES of the space system today. Before governments give up their monopoly on the nation's currency, they will surely roll out the tanks, as the saying goes. As Brad Garlinghouse warned, the tanks will be brought out if and when the people take on the banks. Furthermore, this is the exact reason why Ripple goes against the grain. But in reality, they are currently enhancing the system, correct, guys? The evidence is right in front of our eyes. The Ripple is an integral part of them. Right? It's wonderful that people were tricked, but it's all right. It's all right, though, because we intend to make the most of the chance that has been presented to us as the usual state automobiles, because huge ones are the BG-123 gazing upward into the brilliant golden sky. And he gives thanks to God for giving the people the option to purchase XRP at such a low price, saying, "This is how I know XRP is chosen. It's a beautiful, amazing, golden opportunity for the people." Company-wide, Ripple has been selected, as have the XRP Ledger, the Crypto Series, the XRP Community, and the Crypto Army, which is the XRP Army because Ripple is not opposing them. They are a welcome addition to the established monetary order. Okay, y'all, watch this video I just uploaded. To be honest, I've met banking regulators from all around the world, including here in Davos. For example, former U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke attended one of Ripple's customer events and reportedly said, "Countries will not give up their ability to control monetary supply the world takes into the streets first, because it's giving up sovereignty." This raises the question of whether or not countries with longer tails ever had control over their money supply. The G20, do you ever just walk into a bank and withdraw $20,000 in cold, hard cash? I think whether you agree with me or not, digital monetary cash is anonymous and private. They will have many questions since you are absolutely correct. There. He may have been addressing you from the World Economic Forum. Right? Remember, this was the man who used to run the fed-up naysayers, right? For one of Ripple's CUS customer events, which he came to win. You do realize that this wave is linked to all of these major actors, right? And you still don't believe it. They may have Bitcoin, but it's unclear what they plan to do with it. Bitcoin, you must keep in mind, is countercultural. They need to strike while the going is good, before they are regulated out of existence. Now that they've finally taken matters into their own hands, they can act. They will also claim that Bitcoin was selected. Bitcoin and XRP dudes, in my opinion, XRP is first, but I know that the financial experts disagree. Look at that. Easy. Biden's impeachment in Congress is breaking news. Mountains of evidence have been provided to Congress, but you wouldn't know it from the mainstream media. Bondas appears to be on the outs in this region. The vote on this issue passed with 219 in favor and 208 opposed. We vote to approve the resolution. The reconsideration motion is now on the table without opposition. Nowhere in the mainstream does anyone talk about any of this, folks. It's fascinating because at the same time, Biden said that Putin is obviously losing the war. It's unclear how much of an impact losing the battle in Iraq will have on the home front, but it seems likely. I mean, there's obviously an issue there. You heard that right, Joe Biden. Justin Biden relies on a CPAP machine to treat his sleep apnea. After the White House has put straplines on his face, you know it's all right. It looks like there's trouble in paradise with Joe Biden. Perhaps it's time for the so-called clinical to go away for good. Right? There will not be a year 2024. I don't think any of us will survive to hear the reaction to the Trump audio in 2020. Holy cow, why don't they? Whoa, I seriously doubt that we will survive until 2024. Is this what Trump said? He probably did. The question is why he would do that. Why the sudden flurry of activity, guys? Plenty of interesting things are happening behind the scenes. The true question is probably not why Joe Biden should survive a volcanic eruption and the year 2424. Mr. Poole, do you have any reason to stay inside with the current state of affairs in the world? We should have listened to Mr. Poole and his advice to stay indoors, guys, a long time ago. Almost exactly a year ago, to the day. Hiding indoors, number 313. The reason for this is that a cell confirmation check was performed. I mean, come on, Canadians exporting their smoke? Flamed up at the same time. If the sky is clear. This sounds like an act of terrorism or an attack to me. So, here it is. Okay, so now we're here. Let the pictures load while I comment. In the morning, it's clear as day. It's crystal clear. Only a few clouds in the sky. Just average results overall. This is what people are saying about the cause of the fires, and it's hogwash. The concentration of formaldehyde in the air in Michigan is extremely high and potentially lethal. Pollution/air quality seems to be getting worse and worse, right? This seems to be an act, or at the very least a coordinated action, since they are instructing us to stay inside the same building that Mr. Poole told us about a long time ago. However, why do they encourage people to remain indoors? Am I right, guys? Hold on, it looks like we're being poisoned. The news from Wellsville is that there is a wildfire, and the smoke is poisonous. Please don't tell me that the wildfires have caused this smoke and toxins to settle over the area. Actually, I have to ask you guys, isn't anything weird going on in the globe right now? Countries, are collapsing right now, and they're going after the oxygen quality in the air, too. Are they trying to keep us from seeing something in the sky, guys? It's clear that the events taking place are meant to divert attention away from a more fundamental shift in the world's financial system, and I suspect that this is on purpose. Do you guys remember how we warned that if the new financial system isn't introduced in the midst of a crisis, you won't accept it? People's eyes and throats are burning out on the word this is that Americans are very possibly being poisoned. So that's where, the new banking system, so out of force, out of fear, you will probably embrace it, right? What wild automobiles, wow. Now, stay insiders from the Great Lakes state should take a look. There's a haze, and it's all chemicals. Planes seem to be flying overhead, but I have no idea why. It's like you opened a bleach bottle out here, guys. Hell, I can't. This is completely insane. Right? Complete insanity once more. We warned you this would happen, and you can see it happening right before your eyes. The situation in France has spiraled out of control, leading to widespread rioting across the city. The right way of doing things is collapsing as we speak. Looting and violent riots have extended to multiple French cities, right guys? Things are getting ridiculous. This state of chaos is already in the process of unfolding. Right? Just like we told you a long time ago, guys. We can expect to see more of these kinds of things happening now, can't we? More disruptions occur until everyone has had enough, at which point the system fails. Guys, let's brace ourselves for the grand conclusion, not knowing all the backstory. Wow, that's incredible. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you in the next video, bye.